The Practical Guide to Unethical Psychology by Randy Brown. Chapter 1. She looked like a skeleton with skin draped over it. Paul popped an Altoid into his mouth. He then flipped through Dr. Franz's notes. It says here you run a website that promotes anorexia. Is that true? I prepare 300-calorie meal plans, she said, jiggling her bones back and forth. What's your meal plan? Paul joked. Apple, cracker, can of tuna? I could fit that on a post-it. Are you making fun of me? Bridget asked. Well, Paul noted, you must be one heck of a saleswoman. You're getting people to pay you for this so-called advice. I couldn't think of a better scam to pull on people besides plucking roses from somebody else's garden and selling them for $5 a pop. She looked like steam was going to shoot out of her ears. I'm sorry, is this triggering for you? Paul asked. Absolutely not, Doctor. Paul said, waving a finger. I'm not a doctor. I'm a life coach. What's the difference? She huffed. Well, Paul began, if I was one of those damned educated doctor knuckleheads, I'd be telling you to become self-actualized or some such sort of stuff. What's that? Bridget asked. Exactly. When you figure out what that means, you have my number. Give me a call. No, I prefer a much more well-defined set of goals, actionable goals, that will be part of our process here today. Like, what kind of goal? Paul adjusted his tie. Well, the world-renowned hypnotherapist Milton H. Erickson had 5 well-defined therapeutic goals for every single one of his clients. Get a car, get a house, get married, and have kids. Bridget adjusted in her seat and said, That's 4 goals. Come again? You said he had 5 goals, she corrected him. You only listed 4. Oh, yeah, right. The 5th goal was for his patients to send him presents. But since he's dead, I omitted that reference for obvious reasons. Paul offered Brigitte an Altoid. She waved it off. Paul closed the box. So what are your goals, Brigitte? She threw up her hands. She caught her hands in the air with her wrists, which seemed to reconnect with no trouble whatsoever. Isn't it obvious? She asked him. Do you like cats or dogs? What? What does that have to do with anything? Paul continued, I'm going to suggest that you get a pet of some kind, either a dog or a cat. What would be the point of that? She asked, face reddening in a definitive scowl. Free love, he responded. If you had something or someone to live for, it might take the edge out of life. Do you like animals? I love them. Good, Paul said, scribbling some notes. I'm also going to suggest that you go out to karaoke twice a week. I don't like karaoke, she spat. That's good, then you'll be overcoming a fear of public speaking. She looked at him cross-eyed. I don't have a fear of public speaking. Oh my God, it's like Christmas with you. Do you know how many people in the world are afraid of public speaking? You got them all beat. Good show, very well done. What? She asked, slightly confused. We still haven't defined your goals, Paul cited. What would be some good goals, Doctor? Paul smiled. Still not a doctor. I'm sorry, she restated. What would be some good goals to pursue, Coach? Paul rubbed his hands together. Yeah, now we're talking. What would you do if you were guaranteed not to fail? I'd want to become a painter. First thing, go to a store and buy a paint-by-numbers kit. Do that right after this session. Why? Why ask why? Try but try. Just do it. Do the do. They're great. I have a sneaking suspicion you're mocking me. Well, Paul said, you did try Dr. Phil, and he turned out to be quite the dick, did he not? He had a few moments, she agreed begrudgingly. I'm Dr. Phil's backup plan. When Dr. Phil fails, I don't. It seems like you're flying by the seat of your pants. It seems that way, doesn't it? Paul said loudly. But I assure you there is a method to all my madness. I don't believe you, she argued. Let's go down the rabbit hole, shall we? You asked me why I want you to get an animal. Well, free love is number one, but number two, if you get an animal, it'll force you to socialize. Every time that cat or dog needs food and litter, you're going to have to talk to the pet shop people, the pet shop clerk, the vet, the people at the vet, the people at the adoption agency, and so forth. Moving on to painting, you need something else to occupy your time other than skinny, skinny, skinny. Painting is not only a good way to get out of your head, but if you get good at it, you'll eventually have a skill that could earn you money. What about my anorexia? Screw your anorexia. Quit thinking about your anorexia, Paul snapped. You get more of what you concentrate on. Focus on weight issues and you'll get more weight issues. Focus on being productive and you'll be more productive. How would you know? She shot back at him. You're not even a real doctor. I know, Paul responded. That's why I get paid the big bucks. This response served only to confuse Brigitte. Why should I believe you? Why should I believe that any of this will work? What have you got to lose? You're on the brink of death. If you listen to me, you get a cat and you get to pursue your hobby. What could be better than that? And finally, we have karaoke. Why should you go to karaoke? Again, to socialize. You need to sing, to let your voice be heard. I don't want to be the center of attention. I don't believe that, Paul countered. I believe you're a drama queen. You wouldn't go on Dr. Phil otherwise. You want attention, and trust me, with karaoke, you'll get it. You're a crackpot, she exclaimed. No, I'm an out-of-the-box thinker. That's another term for crackpot, she spewed. You're out there selling 300-calorie meal plans, the contents of which could fit on a single Post-it. From crackpot to crackpot, that's the pot calling the kettle black, sister. Look, if you don't want to take my advice, fine. But you're paying for it even if you don't give me money. You're just paying for it in other ways, although you might have to pay the ultimate price for your ignorance, your life. All I'm saying is get a cat, take up painting, get out of the house. Is all that really that bad? She was silent. Hello? I'm thinking, she said. Look, take my advice or not. Step one, get a cat. Is that doable or is that not doable? I'll get a damn cat, but I don't have to like it. Good, Paul said. Now get the heck out of here. End of chapter.